What's good, brothers? What's good? It's your man King Ray Ray in the joint. I don't know what that is right there. Hanging on that side over there. We're gonna let it stay right there though. It's gonna be all right. I'm like, we gotta kind of fix a couple things, man. What's good, brothers? What's good? Appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. Warhammer, what's good? I'm glad you're in here, man. Let me fix something right quick. Wouldn't have known to fix it if you didn't show up, my brother. King Ray Ray back again. Getting into it. You know we have to do it. You know we have to do it. We have to get into it. Why is that? Because we are who we say we are. We are who we said we were. It is us. So let's go ahead, man, and get ready to start getting physical with King Ray Ray. He deserves it. King Ray Ray is a very deserving brother. Destined King, Journey of Purpose, Leo Rich. Beaver, what's good? Journey of Purpose. MPI, salute my brother. Kazan Clan, salute bro, salute. Warhammer, Young Blessed. King Abraham, salute bro. Appreciate y'all brothers being in the joint. Let's get it, people, man. 3 more minutes. Then we're going to go ahead and get it in, man. Today we're going to discuss anxiety. That is what our show today is going to cover. We're going to discuss how we use anxiety as an excuse to escape the pain of our reality, or maybe even the pain and frustration of our reality. Could have been the pain, fear, and frustration of our reality. Could have been a bunch of things, man. Anxiety is a weapon that we use against ourselves. We believe we're using it against those things in our lives, but we're using it against ourselves. And today we're going to discuss how to identify that and how to not allow anxiety to get the best of you moving forward. Markel, what's good, brother? Foxtrot Alpha in the building. Royal T, salute. Appreciate the brothers being in the joint, man. I know it's been a minute for the King, and we back, man. We back. We got shows lined up for, depending on how this COVID thing treats us, man. We got shows lined up for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week, maybe even Friday, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for sure. Will S, salute. Famo, salute to you, brother. I see you in the building. Let's give the people another minute and 15 seconds. And then we're going to go in, man, like Flynn. King Ray Ray, the Grown Man Channel, is what we'll call it from now on. Appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. About 50 more seconds, and then we'll go ahead and do what we need to do. Let me turn this camera off for a minute, man. I got to fix something. Y'all got to bear with me. I got to fix something right quick, man. This ain't going to get it. Big hunk of thread hanging outside right there. I can't handle that, man. Too much for me. That's too much like Rome. Dang Diesel. Appreciate the 5 bones, brother. Appreciate it. All muscles, all muscles. We muscling up, man. That's what we doing. Now, y'all bear with me here, man, because they're going to look a little crazy because I'm going to come back on the screen fixing stuff. Y'all bear with me here, man. We about to come back on the screen fixing stuff. We might be able to work that. All right, we'll work that. All right, let's get it. So, how we use anxiety as really a crutch. We use anxiety as a crutch to eliminate the necessity of dealing with the issues of our lives. I give y'all a perfect example, man. On my main channel, man, I got community guideline strike for that chick who was on stage using that guy as a urinal. I got a community guideline strike for that. And my numbers just fell off a cliff. I fell out of the algorithm. There was a punishment for that. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. I've been really anxious about that channel recovering to where it was. Even though I was just on an incredible uptick. But I was on it for a minute. And so I was dealing with a tad bit of anxiety because of that, man. I was all over the place with content, man. I was doing a whole bunch of things. Then I realized, I said, it seems to me like you caught up on the numbers as opposed to the lives you're changing. And suddenly I reeled it back in. See, that anxiety was a way for me to keep throwing stuff at it and looking at the analytics and figuring stuff out and trying different pieces of content and trying all these different angles and going that way, when the reality of the scenario is chasing numbers is what got you the community guideline strike in the first place. Because even though you could have slid that piece of content in, you made the mistake and uploaded it public because you need to see that's not the direction you need to go. Who does that piece of content help? Who does it help for me to show you some man being mistreated on stage? Who does it help? No one. Entertainment value. Anxiety. Now we're going to talk about how you can do that, how you can look at the anxious situations in your life or the things that are causing anxiety and embrace those things as opposed to running to anxiety. Because it's a whole lot easier just to feel bad about something, just to feel worried, just to feel like the world is against you, just to feel like this is the problem, just to feel like what YouTube is messing with your channel. It's a whole lot easier to do that than it is to face the real issues. Because the real issues mean that you have to do what? Make a change. And that's not the easiest thing for us to do, brothers. We know that. So let's talk about this. What is anxiety? Anxiety is an overwhelming need to feel some kind of way about something other than the real issue in your life. It's overwhelming and sometimes feels as if the weight of the world is on your shoulders, but it's not the weight of the world. It's the weight of your fear. Your fear of facing the reality of life, because the reality of life is going to make you do one thing. It's going to make you focus on real actions and thoughts that can affect your life in a positive manner. You know what that does? It pulls you away from all the foolishness out here. Pulls you away from all the internet stuff. Pulls you away from all the social media. Pulls you away from all the news. Pulls you away from all of that. And it pulls you right into this circle that you call your own environment. And for many people, that's a tough place to exist in because it represents our failures, not our successes. But that's only because we don't perpetuate our successes like we do our failures. You notice how many people can get mad about something? People are so used to getting mad about something that they'll take something positive and find a negative in it. I'll take something positive and find a negative in it. I did a video about Erica Lachey yesterday, and a guy jumped in a comment and said, well, years ago, this is just internet game. Years ago, her content was different. Years ago, a bunch of people content was different. A bunch of people outlook on life was different years ago. As you grow, you get wiser. You learn the error of your ways. You learn that what you're doing, yes, it may be the right thing in your brain, but if it's doing more hurt than help, then you got to change it. But guys will find something negative in it. Another guy came in and said, man, I don't care what they say. All of them hate us. You see that? See how negative it is? That's anxiety. That's the anxiety that a man is dealing with from not dealing with the fact that he is still hurt from the fact his wife cheated on him, from the fact that the child he thought was his is not his. But you can't perpetuate that energy into the world. See, here's the thing. If you can't eat, sleep, or even think straight, that means peace of mind is non-existent. if you don't have peace of mind, that's a problem in your life. Anxiety and peace of mind don't exist in the same brain, in the same plane, man. They can't do it. So many of us are dealing with anxiety. People have to leave work and go straight home and drop by happy hour every day. I knew a guy once, man, he used to live in the neighborhood I lived in, man, and he was my neighbor to the right. And every day after work, guy had a great cushy tech job. He loved the Acura. Every single time the body style changed on the Acura, man, he grabbed a new Acura. Nice crib. And every day after work, you have to stop and buy alcoholic beverages. Every day. He'd buy them and start drinking them on the way home. So by the time, I'm talking about, those tall beers, I don't know what size they are, but they tall, they're in a tall can like this, cans about this big is a beer. He used to pick up, man, 4 of them every day. And by the time he got home, he had already drank one. He had to go into the house and drink it. But I'm going to be honest with you. He also had a wife. And he had a wife who he may have been resigned to before he got on, before he became successful. But he was already married to her. And so you can tell that he thought he deserved a better wife. Granted, he was looking at her physicality and not the fact that she held him down ever since he was, when he was broke. But that guy used to do that every day. I knew another guy who, he just used to drink every day. That guy tore up. I knew him for about 3 years. That guy tore up 3 cars, DUI, in those 3 years, just having to drink every day. He had a wife. His wife ended up leaving him because he ended up having an affair with a woman from the job. See what I'm saying? You have to understand that your anxiety, the things you have to drain, that you have to drown in alcohol, the things you have to drown in substance abuse, those are the things that you're fleeing from. You got to go face those things. What is it that's making you hate your life? What is it that's making you hate the world? What is it that's making you flee from the things that can bring you peace of mind and joy? What is it? Man, anxiety puts you in such a state of utter confusion that you can't even begin to figure out its origin, let alone the remedy for it. You can't figure out the origin. You get anxious, man, and you just get so used to worrying about everything. When you see people on the highway, man, with road rage, those people are anxious. That's anxiety. Only anxiety will make you go so haywire on the road because someone mistakenly pulled in front of you. No accident happened because someone was going too slow. No accident happened. This is the thing. We live in an anxious society. Why? Everybody's worried about the changes in society. Everybody's concerned about what's going to be different tomorrow. People who don't have money to invest in crypto are worried about what if crypto takes over and the dollar and other forms of currency just aren't relevant anymore. People who have a lot of crypto are starting to wonder, when is the crypto footprint going to be larger so I can use it in every way? Think about the anxiety you may have felt when you're riding down the highway doing nothing and you see the state trooper or policeman behind you and his car and his lights are on and they hear the burst of cherry. Think about how anxious you got. Now, if you're not African American, think about how anxious you don't get. We live in a world that's filled with anxiety, but here's the key. The more you develop your relationship with the Most High, the more you develop your relationship with God, the less you live in fear. You don't have those same fears because you know what you have? You have peace of mind. Many people simply suffer from lack of peace of mind. Many people suffer from lack of peace of mind. There are people who are dealing with issues from their childhood, man. There are people who are dealing with issues from school. There are people who got bullied in school and they still going through it. They're out here acting bad and acting tough and always angry. You know why? Because they're waiting for a bully to test them so they can make up for all of those times they let the bully them. People are dealing with a whole bunch of psychological issues in this world, brothers. A lot of psychological issues. Sometimes people don't even know they're dealing with these issues. Imagine being horrified of a particular outcome that you can't imagine a better, even a different outcome. You're so petrified and terrified of this particular outcome that you can't even imagine that that won't be the outcome. You can't even imagine that the outcome is going to be good because you are dead set on worrying and stressing yourself out about that horrible outcome, which probably never comes to anyone you've ever known in your life. A lot of times we see things on social media and television and we get caught up in, oh, what if that's me? Or what if that's my son? What if that's my wife? What if that's my mama? What if that? We start worrying about all of these things, even though we know we have never heard of that happening until we saw it on social media and TV. That's why I'll demand that my wife is not on social media. She can, a woman can be wherever she wants to be, but I would demand that the woman that I put in the position of wife, she cannot be on social media at all. I don't care who she knows. She can't be trying to be on Facebook, link up with a classmate. She can't be trying to be on IG today. She can't even have no business online, as a matter of fact. She cannot be online. Because social media is the most confusing place in the world for someone who is not absolutely grounded in the word of God. If you're not absolutely grounded, social media will drive you crazy. It really will. And we know this. Markel, appreciate the 2 bone, bro. King Ray Ray Show back in action. Salute to you, man. GC, my brother, salute to you. My squad in the building. Appreciate you being in the joint, man. Salute Ray Ray. Salute to you as well, bro. Now, here's another thing. When you're consumed with anxiety, all other mental capacity is null and void. Like once anxiety enters the fray, you can't even be in any other mental state. You can only be anxious. You can't be anxious and happy. You can't be anxious and glad. You can't be anxious and mad. You can't be anxious and sad. You can't be anxious. You are just anxious. That's how strong anxiety is. It eliminates your ability to be anything but anxious. Anything. So what do I do, King Ray Ray? Do I turn to substances? No. That's not going to do anything. You're going to be inebriated, and then when you're done, you're going to be anxious still. Do I give up? Of course you don't give up. If you give up, then you're going to give up. You're still going to be anxious. You can't get away from anxiety by giving up. Anxiety is almost giving up already. Anxiety is what you turn to when you don't want to face reality. We become anxious intentionally. Anxiety isn't something that just attacks you. Like people have anxiety attacks. You don't have an anxiety attack. You face something, you don't want to face it, so you go over here and you just worry. And here's the crazy thing. 9 times out of 10, whatever you're anxious about has nothing to do with the real issue. You see what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with the real issue. You can sit over here and be anxious about, about anything. But the real problem is that you over here, man, you don't think your woman or your man, you don't think your spouse loves you no more. You don't think your girl loves you. You don't think your man loves you. You are on the highway about to have a road rage with somebody, and then because you think your spouse may be creeping around on you. The thing you're anxious about, the way we express anxiety is really to take our frustrations out on other people besides the people or situations that are causing the issue in the first place. But what should I do? Should I just take that this too shall pass, we shall overcome mindset? No, because it's not going to pass. It don't have to pass you. You got to pass it. You ever play Monopoly and seen the board say, okay, you just stay right there. Go gonna pass you. No, you got to go past go to collect your $200 in Monopoly. You got to go past go. I don't care what else you do on that board. If you don't go past go, you're not going to collect your $200. That's just the way this goes. So you have to understand that anxiety most times is simply a distraction from, excuse me. Anxiety is just simply a distraction from a bigger issue. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just a bigger issue that you don't want to face. Because those issues can change the way you function in everyday life. But facing those issues is just you breaking yourself down, building yourself up. Anxiety is you staying in a state of limbo. You're not breaking down, you're not building up, you're just staying in a state of limbo with anxiety, man. Anxiety is the cousin of stress, close cousin of stress. Almost look like siblings. Let's say unwanted pregnancy, weight gain, missed opportunities. That's a big one. Missed opportunities are cause a lot of people anxiety. But you got to look and see, well, why did I miss the opportunity? Because I'm not punctual? Because I talked myself out of it? Because that's something over there I really don't want to do, but I don't want to disappoint the people around me who believe that I should be doing that thing? Unwanted pregnancy, what is that? If it happened, you wanted it. You may not want it afterwards, but see, you can't decide you don't want something after you do it. You can't decide you don't want to go to prison after you willingly commit a crime. Weight gain. Okay. Don't be anxious about the stuff they put in the food. Be anxious about the fact. Look at the reality and say that you eat more sugar than you eat anything else. Feelings of failure. Are you anxious about your feelings of failure? No, you're anxious about your effort. You're anxious about the fact that you keep putting other people before you. That you keep sacrificing yourself for the wellness of other people. That you can't let go of the fact that the way you were raised was wrong. That's one thing your parents missed out on. They told you to be willing to give up yourself and sacrifice yourself for the people around you. That don't make sense. And now you're living a life where you're suffering the consequences of taking care of these people and living around these people, having these people leech from you, and you can't get nothing from nobody. And your life seems like it's over. So what do? You start stressing out about property taxes. And you start stressing out about, there's a creek in the back of the house. What if a snake get in the house? You start stressing out about a whole bunch of crazy things because you can't accept the reality of your life. Woe is me is sometimes easier than knowing me. A lot of these things that cause anxiety are things you know about yourself, but you want to ignore. You want to ignore these things about yourself. Many people need counseling, but they want to ignore that about themselves. Why? I don't want people to think I lost my mind. I don't want people to think I'm off my rocker. Newsflash. You think you're off your rocker right now. We can't be so worried about what people say. We can't be so worried about what people think that we fail to do what's best for us. It makes no sense to do that. You all you got, man. If you don't do it for yourself, nobody else is going to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. Kenyon Jenkins, man, appreciate 10 bone. Much appreciation for this amazing content. All blessed to the Most High God of Israel. Real talk, man. All praises to Jah. Salute, bro. Salute. Appreciate it. Pesci, my brother. Salute. Appreciate 12 bones. Anxiety, aka serving two masters, aka confusion, aka depression, aka stress. Serve God always. God never failed. All praise to the Most High and all faith to the Most High. Salute, King Ray Ray. God bless. Salute to you, Pesci. Well said, man. Trust in the God of Israel with all your heart and all your might, all your soul, everything that you have should be given to the Most High. You ain't gotten in this to give nobody else. So when I talk about emotional attachment, you ain't got no emotional attachment to give nobody else. You ain't got no pieces of your heart to give nobody else, because you worship God. You honor God with your whole heart, your whole being. So all you got to give anybody else is the righteousness that comes from that. There is no anxiety in having a relationship with God, man. When you think about it, childhood emotional scars are the greatest issue we avoid with anxiety, because everyone has one or two, or has had one or two. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the only way to get over those issues is with the Most High, man. I hate to be the bearer of bad news to people who believe you can do something else to get over that, but the Most High is the only way to get over those things. Those issues are gonna hunt you. Those issues are gonna be with you forever, if you don't wrap your mind around the concept that you have to develop a relationship with the Most High, man. Everything you need is in that word. Everything you need is in that word. Guys ask me, where should I start? Pick a spot. Of course, I always send guys Proverbs, because Proverbs is the best bang for the buck. Proverbs is nothing but righteous gain. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's when Solomon was righteous before he got caught up in having all of those wives and singing the song of Solomon. And when Ecclesiastes, and you can kind of see the shift with Ecclesiastes. He kind of sounds a tad bit more confused, anxious even in Ecclesiastes. He still says some good stuff, but Ecclesiastes and Proverbs are not the same. You could tell in Proverbs, he was on it. He was on it in Proverbs. Ecclesiastes, he kind of started wondering and guessing and doubting and stressing and doing all of that. And then by the time he got the Song of Solomon, man, he was gone. The wives had him at that point. If you look at it closely, you can see the regression of King Solomon from being king to the book of Proverbs to Ecclesiastes to the Song of Solomon. You can see the regression of the man from a godly man to a worldly man whose life revolved around his wives. You can see it. So let me tell y'all something, man. I was talking to this chick, man, and she's not even dark skin, just brown skin. You know, she'd be called dark before she'd be called light, but she's really not. And beautiful girl, man. And she still has psychological issues from having to fight the fair-skinned girls at school, all the way through school. Because, you know, the fair-skinned girls had this aura about them, and they dare the boys like a dark-skinned girl. They dare a dark-skinned girl to be considered as pretty as they are. And she still has those psychological scars from now, man. To hear her talk about it, you can hear the pain. You can hear the frustration. But that reflects in anxiety in other areas. I'm talking about if you want to see someone who's anxious all the time about everything, then you see a woman that's dealing with that. Even that bullied example. See someone who's around here acting like they are tough. They ready to go at it with anyone because they have these issues with bullies. And so they had these issues with bullies when they were younger. And so now as an adult, they just ready for anybody to do anything. And they always talking about somebody's testing them. Somebody trying to play me, man. They're trying to play me weak. They're trying to do this to me. They're trying to do that to me, man. Blah, blah, blah. No. Now it's a deflection from that time when you let people play you weak, when you were weak, when you didn't stand up for yourself. Now that you want to stand up for yourself and you will stand up for yourself, the bullies ain't coming around. So you want to use anxiety to create the reason to battle someone now, hoping that that will replace the fact that you have some issues from the past. You ever met somebody who was cheated on before? You ever met somebody who was cheated on before? Sometimes those people, man, they don't even remember they got cheated on. They blocked it so far back in their head, but man, they are out here going through the motions in these relationships. You ever met a man who believes that he should just go and have as many women as he wants forever? He's on that mission forever. He's not going to be emotionally attached to any of them. He just wants to go through. He believes that he's making up for the pain that he feels by doing this, but all he's doing is heaping grief on top of his pain, heaping sorrow on top of his pain. But he don't understand that because he's too anxious to see the truth. Chief, stand still. Salute, my brother. Bless up, King Ray Ray. Salute to you, Chief. You have to wrap your mind around these things. See, here's the thing, man. Accepting certain shortcomings or perceived limitations in our self-development is an extremely painful process. Nobody wants to accept the fact, man, that they dropped the ball at some point in their life. Nobody wants to be in their 40s and 50s and accept the fact, man, that they missed out on opportunities to make money, that they'd be better situated, and now they're looking at the prospect of having to work for 20 more years. Nobody wants to look at that prospect. We want to hold on to the fantasy of it. And that's the thing. That's why I tell you, man, you have to accept the reality of life. You have to embrace the reality of life. You can't play around and act like life ain't got to be real. Like, well, that was no real life. These guys don't know what they're talking about. What is real? Real is whatever you make it. No, there's a reality of your life. And most times it is a painful reality. If you're a man and you know that you had a good girl, man, I'm talking about a good girl, and you were too busy out here doing crazy things, being immature, running around, man, not doing the right thing, looking at a gift from God, looking at a help meet and saying, well, no, I'm going to treat her just like anyone else. You know that it's tough for you to embrace that. Now, you can't even look at women the same anymore. You can't look at the prospect and concept of having a help meet the same anymore. Sometimes you've told yourself that she wasn't as good as you thought she was anyway. There was some about her. You just don't know what it was. That's when you hear men say, all women are this and all women are that. Or you hear women say, all men are this or all men are that. There is no such thing as all. For one thing, none of us know all. And for another thing, none of us could have all, even if we knew all. We must overcome this fear of the known. You've heard of fear of the unknown, but this fear of the known, the things you know about yourself, you have a fear of facing them because here's what's going to happen. You're going to have to accept the fact that at some point in your life, you were weak. Some point in your life, you were lost. You were soft. Some point in your life, you were confused. None of those things are positive. All of those things are aspects of what it takes to fail in life. But that's what we have to do. We must overcome the fear of the unknown and understand that facing said fear is the key to becoming a complete being capable of living life with immense joy. Having joy every day is the purpose of this life. Having joy every day is the purpose of this life, man. That's the purpose. With all of this negative energy around everywhere, don't you understand that having joy is the reason for being, man? See, here's the thing. If you eliminate the anxiety from your mind, what would be your true train of thought? Your true train of thought. If you eliminate the anxiety, oh man, what's going on? Oh man, the world is going in. Oh man, no man, what's going on? Oh man, we ain't gonna have no food. Oh, everybody about to be drowned. Oh, everybody gonna starve, man. Oh, we about to be in a drought. Oh man, look at this. If you eliminate that foolishness from your brain, then you got to think about your true thoughts. I am not satisfied with where I am in life. I am not satisfied with the people around me who I know just want to use me. I'm not satisfied with the woman I thought was going to be better for me than that woman, because this woman does not know what loyalty means. That woman did. I'm not satisfied with the career path I've chosen. I hated this when I first thought about it. And now that I make more money doing it, it's even worse, because I believe I can because I would take less money to do what I love. So the money just makes it worse. All of this anxiety that we feel, is based on the fact that we haven't embraced our purpose in this life. If you embrace the purpose that God put you here for, there is no anxiety. None of that stuff matters over there. We've all had issues from the past. I've had 1,000 issues from the past. But you know what? When I became the man that God put me here to be, those things didn't matter anymore, because I was not that dude. Those were stepping stones for me to get to where I am today. See, here's the thing. No matter how spiritual you are as a man, no matter how righteous you are as a man, no matter how connected to God you are as a man, you're still human. So the human side of you has to be cultivated throughout your life. You can't become the man you're supposed to be without first being a man. And a man has to learn through trial and tribulations how to be a man. A man has to learn through the lessons of life how to be a man. This is what you have to do, man. You have to be prepared to overcome your fears. And how do you do that? By remembering, fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Fear of life is not the beginning of wisdom. Fear of death is not the beginning of wisdom. Fear of the wrong thing happening is not the beginning of wisdom. Fear of what's going to happen in the world is not the beginning of wisdom. Fear of something happening to you in the road, right? That's not, none of that is the beginning of wisdom. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Become wise. Wisdom defeats everything. Anxiety, stress, worry, fear. Wisdom defeats all of that. Become wise. Use your brain for more than a hat rack. Use your head for more than something to twist your hair on. We live in a society that is perpetuating the idea that God doesn't exist, that you should focus on money and nothing else, that all you need is money and human connection. That's all. The world was created by a big blast. God had nothing to do with it. But we in the kingdom, we in the atmosphere, we know better than that. And if you are listening to this right now, or you will listen to this on the playback, you must understand, man, the realization of these true thoughts, your ups and downs, your highs and lows, your twos and fros, deep to the depths of your soul, will lead to the holy grail of self-acceptance. All of this anxiety is the barrier between you and self-acceptance. Darker skin chick I was telling you about can't embrace her natural hair. Beautiful natural hair. Long, curly, soft, frames her face, man, like a queen, like a true queen. But because of that interaction with those fair-skinned girls with their straighter hair, the hardest thing she's having to do is embrace her own natural beauty, self-acceptance. If you accept the truth of your life, then you can begin to accept yourself. When you accept yourself, there is no anxiety, because you are the true you and you embrace that. There is no anxiety in that. There is no stress in that. There is no worry in that. And there surely is no fear in that. See, we have to understand that no one is going to know you better than you. So that's all you have. The most knowledge you have in the world is knowledge of self. You can never learn anything better than you can learn yourself. And that's what you have to do. Yeah, Chief. No driving to Texas, bro. It don't take but a second. Don't take but a second. Now, here's the thing. You can suffer in life if you want to suffer in life. But if you're going to suffer, you make sure you suffer for the right reason. You suffer because there's a trial that you have to go through as you're growing into the most alpha version of yourself, as you're growing into the man that God put you here to be. You make sure that you suffer for that. You trade that anxiety in for a head-on collision with the truly complex issues of your life. In other words, face your demons. Don't flee from them. Face them head on. Look your demons in the face and say, let's get it on, Jack. I'm ready. You ready? Let's get it. That's what you must do. That's your job as a man. It's your job as a man to do that, to teach your family to do that, show your wife how to cultivate that in your children. Because before you can become a husband, before you become a father effectively, before you can become a friend, before you can become anything, you first must become a man. And if you don't have a direct connection with the Most High, you cannot become the man you're supposed to be. You become the man that they want you to be. And that man is never going to be the same man that God put you here to be. So you're never going to reach your full potential if you don't get control of your mental. You understand what I'm saying? You have to get rid of the anxiety. Anxiety is the opposite of sobriety. You're drunk with confusion when you're anxious. Clear your mind. Open up and let God pour in what needs to be in your brain, in your spirit, in your heart. Then you can learn to overcome these things you need to overcome. Hey, I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. You know, we don't like to hang in the kingdom too long. We like to come in here and do it, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't like Baptist church. We come in here, we do our thing, man. We go head on to the crib, man. We ain't got all day Sunday to be hanging out at the church house, man. So I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. Famo, salute. GC, salute. I appreciate y'all brothers being in the joint, man. All the other brothers in the building, man, with the donations. I appreciate that. Leviticus, the priest, appreciate the firebone, man. Bro, say, the joy of the Lord is my strength. It certainly is, brother. Certainly is. Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. Again, Chief in the building, man. Appreciate you, Chief. The brother Pesci Bowman. Appreciate you, Pesci, man. I appreciate y'all brothers, man, with all the support. Kenyon Jenkins, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the brothers, man. GC, my brother. Salute. Appreciate you. Markel. Appreciate you, young brother. Appreciate it. Dame Diesel. Salute, man. I appreciate it, brother. Now, man, we're going to go ahead and get ready to head on out of here, man. Got a good piece of content, man, coming up on the BOA channel right now. Got a great show at 4:05 p.m. on the BOA channel. What is it? What that boy name is? Tony Gaskins says only lames ask the table question. What do you bring to the table? Kevin Samuels says men should pay. And BOA adds some ism. So y'all check that out, man. We'll be back again on the King Ray Ray channel tomorrow. Same time, same station. We about to head on out, man. Y'all put God first. Keep grinding and growing, my brothers. Peace.